Hello, my friends. We are going to develop today the posture of SALAMBA SARVANGASANA. So this is going to be some preparation, which can be just postures that you need to work before going in SALAMBA SARVANGASANA. I would like only to explain little things, but important things. So we are going to start in TADASANA. Normally, you are going to need a brick, a chair, a strap or a rope. I already have done the exercises with the ball and the inclined plane. And we are going to start in TADASANA. So you put both heels next to each other, both feet next to each other. External, a little bit in an internal rotation. So the external sides of your feet are parallel. Put all the weight on your heels. Try to push the heels in the floor to bring the crown of your head higher. You are going to take your brick as you normally do Namastasana. We are going to do it with the brick. In between our hands, there is going to be a pressure in our hands, like we want to bring the hands together, but the brick is not letting us do it. We start high if we can. Keep your elbows close to each other. Try to push your heels on the floor to bring the crown of your head higher in a continuous way. Push the big toes on the floor as well to bring an internal rotation in your hips, which will bring an anterior tilt in your pelvis. Keep the pressure in the brick and try to bring the brick slowly lower. Be attentive in your feet, in both heels. Feel how your weight is going to the floor. Is it symmetrical in both heels? Is it the same weight in both heels? Continue pressing the brick and continue lowering the brick. You can try to stop sometimes. You just stop when the brick is in front of your face. Keep the pressure on your heels. Try to press your heels on the floor to bring the crown of your head higher and higher. Continue pressing your hands in the brick. Feel how your respiration is organizing itself. And you can come slowly lower with your brick. Feel the extension between your two shoulders. Feel the stretch in your neck. And you can slowly come down. Stay on your heels. Press your big toes on the floor. Try to bring the crown of your head higher and higher. And bring the brick lower. Once your forearms are horizontal, you stop there. You let the weight of your elbows and the weight of your shoulders be held in the brick. Feel the stretching in your shoulders and in your neck. Compare both sides. Try to visualize the back of your body from your heels to the calves, to the back of your knees, to the back of your thighs, and come higher and higher towards the crown of your head. Feel the differences between the two sides. Try to bring symmetry. And this is going to be our Tadasana for today. You just leave the brick. We are going to prepare a little bit the arms. So we are going to try to find the mobility in the joint between the shoulder and the arm. We are going to make little circles with the elbows, really low, like we have little pencils in the elbows, and we are trying to make little circles. Try to bring your elbow really low, let it come down, and it's here we want to find the rotation inside the joint, inside this joint. So you do little circles with your elbow, little circles. Feel what's happening in both arms, feel the differences in both sides. Here we are going to try to bring the elbows a little bit towards the front. Continue, do little circles. Feel the movement in the joint. And you can come a little higher, continue doing little circles. Feel the movement in the joint. Feel some differences between the two sides. Keep all your weight on your heels and try to bring the crown of your head higher. And you can come a little bit higher and try to do the same thing. Keep your elbows towards the front. Try to bring your elbows closer to each other, don't let them come out. And then you can come up. Try to bring your elbows together and towards the ceiling and towards the exterior, and then you just can try to do the same movement by bringing your elbows really close to each other. Try to bring them up towards the ceiling and then back, out and down, and then you can bring them in front again, elbows close to each other and up towards the ceiling, out and down. Then we are going to do the opposite action, out, up and down, close to each other. There is one thing happening here. When I go out and up, there is this rotation going like this. Then I bring it towards the front and then I bring it down. So when I come out, I don't go up like this. I turn and go up like this. And then I come down. But this is sufficient. You can release. Feel a little bit the sensations in your arms. We are going to start with a little quad extension with a chair. You can try it with a chair in the lower part of the chair where you sit. You come in front of the chair and you bring one foot on the chair, the heel you let it out of the chair. You push the chair away from you with the front foot and you push the mat towards the back with your back foot. Try to bring your heel really towards the floor. You keep all the pressure in your heel and you push with your heel. And you try to bring your knee towards the floor as well. Keep both actions present and find the balance between the two. Try to search here for an extension in your quad. As much as you can. Try to lower your knee. Feel if your pelvis is horizontal and facing front. Try to keep your pelvis horizontal and facing front. You can try to push both big toes towards the floor and towards the chair. Feel if your back, the back of your thigh is active to push towards the front. The front of your thigh, but of course to push towards the back, the mat. This is what brings action in the quad. And you stay there. If this is too easy for you, you can try to make a bigger space between the 2 feet. We are going to do it after. So you stay there. Just try to bring lower and lower your knee without falling in the front of your foot. I am speaking about the back foot, the foot on the floor. Keep both actions of pushing the chair and the mat and find balance between the two. You can cross your fingers, bring the palms down towards the floor in the back of your pelvis. Try to bring a little action of pushing your palms down, but nothing is happening. This is just going to bring you a little bit more of stretching in the back of your neck. And it is going to work a little bit more the internal rotation in your arms. Try to keep both actions in both legs. And then you can come back. Feel a little bit the difference. There is two options you can do after. Bring the higher part of the chair in front of you to put your heel in the higher part of the chair. This is going to keep most of the weight in the back leg. And when you are going to try to bring your knee towards the floor, there is going to be more work here. If you are flexible in your ankle, you can also do this. Bring more space between the 2 feet and try to come in the front of your foot to bring your knee down. But your knee is not going to be on the floor. If you have difficulty because of your ankle, you can do the other version. You are always in two actions, but you have more to work. You have a little bit more of action here in the back leg, and you can stay there. Try to find the connection between your back leg, your back heel, and the crown of your head. You can maybe try to bring lower and lower your heel. And then you are going to come back. So feel a little bit the differences between the two sides, and we are going to do the other leg. But you have already many differences in many parts of your body. When you are ready, you come in balance with the other leg and you bring one leg on the chair. Push your mat towards the back with the back foot. Push your chair towards the front with your front foot. Keep your pelvis facing front. Keep your pelvis horizontal. Try to keep the connection between your back heel and the crown of your head. Concentrate in your sensations. Feel what's happening with your breathing. Feel the action in the back of your thigh. And try to bring a little bit lower your back knee. Keep both actions in your legs. It's the actions that are going to bring the extension, nothing else. Once you feel ready, you can come back and we are going in the next level. So you bring a little bit more space between the two legs. Maybe I am going to do the second version in this side. You come in a balance in the back leg. You bring your front leg on the chair. Flex your back knee, stay in your back heel. And try to push towards the back with your back heel and towards the front with your front foot. Be careful with the chair. This can be really easily done with a wall, because the wall can hold you very well. Stay in both actions. Both legs are pushing the elements towards the exterior and away from the center of your body. When I am referring to pushing or tracting, this is what I mean. Bringing elements away from the center of the body, bringing elements towards the center of your body. Pushing is away, tracting is closer. Try to bring your knee a little bit lower. And keep both actions of pushing with both legs. Feel the action in the back of your back leg. Feel the extension in the front of your back thigh. Feel the weight on your back heel. Try even to push your back heel towards the floor to extend your groin, the front of your thigh. And then you can push yourself towards the back with your front leg to come in both legs. Feel a little bit the difference between the two. You can stay there because we are going in a front flexion. So if we bend forward, it's the pelvis that comes towards the back and nothing else changes. Put your hands in the back between your pelvis and your lumbar spine. And when you come towards the floor, when you bring your pelvis towards the back, there is nothing that changes in the back of your lumbar spine. You shouldn't feel any differences happening in your hands. This is just for you to feel what's happening when you bring your pelvis towards the back. If you have worked enough the stretching of the back of your legs, you can come down easily. If not, you can stop in any moment when you feel that there is going to start changing your back. So stay attentive. Feel what's happening under your palms, under your fingers. Is there any difference between the position when we are just standing and when we are bent forward? Keep all your weight on your heels. Pay attention in your knees. Don't block your knees. Stay there. Try to bend a little bit your knees. Release your belly and push your heels on the floor to bring your buttocks higher if possible. Try to stay there without anything changing in your back. Push the crown of your head towards the front to bring space between your tailbone and the crown of your head. If you want, you can push your chair towards the floor and try to bring the back of your head a little bit higher. Continue pushing your pelvis towards the back. This is what is going to bring your flexion, the hip flexion, and not the lumbar spine flexion. If there is any question between these two, the hip flexion and the lumbar spine flexion, you can just type it. I am possibly going to do a video just to explain this, because I see it's not very clear. Try to find the center of your heels. Balance in both heels your weight and push in the center of your heels. Push the floor towards the floor. Push your heels towards the floor so you can bring your buttocks a little bit higher. This is just an action. This is not going to change the position of anything else than your knees. Your knees are just going to unbend a little bit. It's very small, and it's just going to change the stretching in the back of your legs and nothing else. And you stay there. And then you are going to come up. We are going to work a little bit the arm side so we can prepare for Sarvangasana. For Salamba Sarvangasana, you are going to sit on the chair, in the edge of your chair. Bring your heels away from you so you can keep your heels and your big toes on the floor. Bring your hands on the chair behind you. Try to keep your elbows towards the back. Push your hands down towards the chair and try to pull yourself towards your feet. There is pressure in your heels that tries to bring your pelvis higher. It tries to extend the front of your thighs. And your hands are just pushing the chair towards the floor. Feel the stretch in the front side of your arms. Try to bring symmetry in both hands, in both arms. Push your heels on the floor to bring the pelvis a little bit higher. Don't contract your buttocks, it's only the back of your legs that's contracting. Feel what's happening with your breath. And then you can come down, sit. Feel what's happening a little bit in the front of your arms. We are going to take a rope or a strap and tie it forearm length from the elbow to the space between your thumb and your index finger. You make a little bit of a knot, and then you check if it's all right. It should be like that. We are going to bring this in the back. Just like this. We are going to bring one brick and push into the brick. So this is one option. You push into the brick. Second option is you take a stick and you try to push into the stick, or you try to create tension into the stick. This both helps, and this both options work. So if I'm trying to create length into the stick, nothing is happening in the stick and in my hands. It's here that is stretching. If I try to push into the stick, same thing happens. It's here, I'm stretching. If I try to do the same thing with the brick, I try to just create a pressure into the brick. Alright, so both of these can work. I'm just going to do it with the brick for a moment. This is really interesting. Try to create tension in the rope behind you. Feel what's happening when you create this tension in the rope. You release the tension in the rope, and then you can try to bring pressure in the brick and feel the same thing, what is happening in your shoulders, in your arms, in your neck. I don't know if this is visible, maybe this is visible. If I don't have an action, look only in my shoulders. If I don't have an action, and if I have an action, this is what happens. You see the difference? It's really small, but it's what's going to bring balance in your arm, going to create a certain balance between the muscles that bring movement in the arm and that connect the arm in the shoulder blade. Try to keep your weight on your heels and try as well to bring the crown of your head higher and higher. And this is going to be sufficient. Just feel what's happening here. You can repeat this whenever you want. It's a really good exercise. And then we are going to do the same in the chair. So this is the preparation, as I said, for Sarvangasana. So we are just going to try to come towards Sarvangasana. You come in front of your chair, you lie down. We are not going to do Sarvangasana for the moment. We need support to do Sarvangasana. You bring both arms with your rope and then you grab your chair, bring your feet on the chair, push your heels down to open the front of your thighs. You can push the chair towards the floor to bring the shoulders a little bit closer. Keep space in your neck. Push your heels towards the floor. Try to bring extension here in your thigh. You can try to push your hands towards the floor, or you can maybe try to support your pelvis to come towards VIPARITA KARANI. Feel the pressure in your elbows. Feel the inversion of all the abdominal zone. And you can stay here. If you have any pain in your elbows, you can bring a little bit more of cushion or fold the mat under the elbows. But with time you get used to it. So in VIPARITA KARANI, as in Sarvangasana, the action in the legs is internal. You push your big toes towards the ceiling. This is what unbends your knees. The same happens in Sarvangasana. You push your heels towards the ceiling and you push your big toes towards the ceiling. Feel if you have any kind of pressure in your neck. There shouldn't be any pressure in your neck. And you stay there, try to feel what's happening. Try to feel the sensations, the change in your breathing, the difference between the left and the right leg. Try to bring some deep exhalations. Maybe wow. Then you can come down, put your feet on the chair. Maybe if you want, you can just come down and feel what's happening in your body. But you can also come a little bit closer to the chair. Try to bring your sacral bone on the chair. Feel if this is sufficient. If you have space in the back of your neck. If your weight is on the shoulder and in your sacral bone. Don't try to come to Sarvangasana for the moment. Stay there. Try to push a little bit the chair with your heels to open here the groins. You can maybe try to push the chair both sides with your hands as you did with the brick before. Feel what's happening with the inversion, what's happening in your abdominal zone. If your chair is too high, you can put blocks under your elbows, under your shoulders, under your neck, but leave your head on the floor. And you can stay there. Keep pushing the chair with your heels to open your groins. Don't contract your buttocks, contract only the back of your leg. You can push your big toes away from you to activate the inner part of your thighs, the inner part of your legs, and the rotation, the formation of rotation in your legs. You stay there. Try to bring some exhalations, long exhalations with your transverse abdominal. Here normally you don't have much to do. Feel the contractions in the really low part of your abdomen. Feel how is your perineum responding to this. Try to keep this pressure in your heels. If your pelvis is sufficiently supported in the chair, you can try to bring your feet up. Keep the same action as in Viparita Karani, pushing your big toes in an eversion of your feet, pushing your big toes towards the ceiling, pushing your heels as well towards the ceiling. This is the action of your legs in Sarvangasana. Try to lengthen the outer side and the inner side of your legs. There is balance between the two. So this is one more stage towards Sarvangasana. If this is enough for the moment, you can come down, bring both of your legs on the chair. You can push yourself towards the back to come down off the chair, or you can push the chair away to bring your pelvis down, and then you roll towards the side. So this is how you can go towards Sarvangasana. If you want to try to be in Sarvangasana, you will need blocks. These are 5 or 4 centimeters high. You need blocks to support your shoulders, both of your shoulders. So if you see like this here, like this, you see that this is not enough to have just one block. You should be covered in both sides. And the third thing is, you let your head on the floor. You don't bring one more here in your head. So I'm going to try to find a block. I just have 2. Normally I have another here, not here, there. But you can bring yoga blankets if you want. So I will try with 2 blocks, and I will put the mat on the blocks. You see, this is the edge of the blocks, and this is the other edge of the blocks. Ideally, you should have both elbow and shoulder on the blocks. I will try it like this, and then we are going to see if it's going to be enough. But the more important is the shoulders. As you know, in Sarvangasana 2, Salamba Sarvangasana 2, Nilalamba Sarvangasana as well, we don't have the elbows on the floor at all, so it's all right. Just try to bring the shoulders on the blocks and the head and the neck out of the blocks. So I come lie down, so I can bring my shoulders on the blocks. This is how I start. I bring my shoulders on the blocks. I will bring the rope in one of my elbows, and then I will roll over, come on the chair. You see my head is on the floor. I will push myself with my feet towards. I push my feet towards the chair to lift my pelvis, and then I can just continue lifting my pelvis to come up on the chair. You see here my elbows are a little bit outside the blocks, and then I will try to come up. You let all your neck out of the blocks, and to come up you can help yourself with your hands to support the back. And as you see, I can continue speaking because I am not compressing anything in my throat. So bring as much as possible the weight on your shoulders and not on your neck or your head. If you have any weight on your head, then you just need to bring more height in your blocks. So try to find higher blocks and try to bring yourself in balance on your shoulders. So this is going to be one more research to bring your femoral heads vertically over the shoulders and your heels in the same line as the femoral heads and the shoulders. And then you try to find balance on your shoulders. Bring the same action in your legs. Push your big toes towards the ceiling and the heels towards the ceiling. Try to open the groins. And you stay there. Just try to find balance. If your weight comes over the shoulders, normally we don't need the hands. And what we're doing here is just bringing the weight over the shoulders, in fact. And you stay there. Try to feel what's happening in your breath. You can support your back. Normally, if you are on your clothes, they are going to slip. So bring your hands on the skin in the back of your shoulders. So like that, you can just be sure the posture is stable. And try to feel the differences between the two sides. Differences between the two sides of your neck, the two shoulders, both arms, both forearms, both hands, both sides of your back. both sides of your pelvis, both sides of your perineum, both thighs, both knees, the calves, the ankles, the feet, the heels, the big toes. Try to just pay attention in any place in your body. Feel how breath changes the place of anything. Pay attention to the sensations in your back. How the inversion of the abdominal zone is bringing differences in all the sensations of the back in the zones where the membranes that hold your abdominal organs attach. Try to find peace in this enormous action, internal action. Try to find balance. Maybe this is sufficient. Sarvangasana, you can keep staying in the posture 5, 10, 15 minutes. Very good posture for a lot of things. I'm not going to say all that right now. Just try to feel what's happening in your body. To come down, we are going to bring one leg after the other on the chair. And then we are going to come open both legs to bring the pelvis on the floor and roll over. You remove the strap and the blocks, and you can lie down in Savasana. Feel what's happening in your body, feel what's happening in the upper part mostly. Bring an external rotation in your shoulders. Let the shoulders place themselves closer to the vertebra, to the spine. Interlock your two thumbs, the big toes. Feel what's happening in the upper part of your body, upper part of the rib cage, the neck, under the collarbones, in both sides, the neck in both sides, under the tongue, in your mouth as well. The respiration in both nostrils. The freshness in your eyes. The peace generally placed by Sarvangasana in your head. And you can keep staying there. Try to feel all these differences in your body from before the beginning of this session and now. And you stay there, present in your sensations. And I can let you there. I will see you soon for the next video. I hope this is clear for you what means to be in Sarvangasana. It's a very, very important posture. And I hope you are going to take time to do it and not rush into it. So see you soon. Have a nice day. Bye, bye, bye.